Hello, that was actually really close to my voice. I thought you did. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another very exciting edition of Nat20Hot. We are thrilled that you would choose to join us here on this Wednesday night, Wednesday, the 22nd of January, for our 90th session, which is a tremendous accomplishment. We've been playing for just about 2 years now. A week from today is our 2 year anniversary, which is very exciting. And I couldn't be more thrilled to be spending it alongside all of these people that you see on camera with me here. If you're joining us for the first time, we are a group of friends that like to play Dungeons and Dragons together, and we do so because it's fun and it's cool to do it together, and we should do things together. If you're also maybe not joining us for the first time, you may have seen in the past that we often promote a wonderful charity called Extra Life. That is a wonderful charity that supports America's children's hospitals through funding critical and life saving care for children who need it. We've been doing that for the last 2 years. We continue to support them. However, we would also advise you to take a look at the links in our chat for other wonderful charities that you go ahead and support as we move forward into 2025. As there are many folks out there who need the support and care of us and many others. Before we get into our recap, that is actually everything I was going to say. So, without further ado, our recap. Uh, Last time out, our great people got together and returned to the Marigold estate, having finally defeated the evil wizard Drakenvoss and retrieving Clarissa from his captivity in his tower. They returned to the Ebon Lake and then journeyed back to the Marigold estate in the material plane, where they hoped to find allies in Elray and Eliana and Puck, in the hopes that they might have been able to learn more about the affliction of Eli Goy, the Void Maw, or the fallen god from beyond the far realms. And find, or Elgai, yes, whatever you'd like to call them. However, what they did find was those same three individuals who were not quite allies anymore. Unfortunately, they had fully succumbed to Eli Goy's corruption and had turned into violent manifestations and avatars of his being. They unfortunately had to defeat their allies and their would-be friends. And instead, Bramlin lost a father figure she could not even remember. Why is everyone?
I didn't cry.
Yeah, it's
I
not
was
cry.
so brave about it.
I'm waiting for Willem to make a joke about
Right.
something that I said because he's just been smirking this whole time. Um, can't tell. No,
Well,
okay,
never.
okay. Um, And that is pretty much where we left things after Lazer Hawk. Basically, there's a lot of people all together. You are all situated at the Marigold Estate. It's Clarissa, Seraphel, Branwyn, Cena, Lazer Hawk. Randy is not there. Willem and Dunk, because Randy decided to stay behind at the Ebon Lake of the Material Plane to study upon the scroll of omniscience that he has already studied upon once, and hopes to do so again, and is pulling double duty, studying for 16 hours a day in the hopes to take what is typically a month-long process and turn it into a 2 week long process.
I can turn it into a year.
Yeah, exactly. You watch me turn this 20 into 5. All right. So you guys are all
I found
together.
$100,000 and I invested it and turned it into $16,000.
Yeah, put it into Hawk coin. Where are you guys are all at the Marigold Estate? What are you up to? We should launch a meme coin. Wait a second.
Yeah, Nat20Hot coin.
Just
Buy now.
hot.
Fine. Okay, wait, no, I have to get back into being emotionally devastated.
Why you don't remember anything?
I'm gonna do a rug pull.
I'm sad and I don't know why. It's horrible. Okay. I gave the letter to Lazer Hawk. Um,
Yeah, so each of you are kind of just hanging out outside the estate at the current moment. You have ventured inside, or at least Laserhawk and a couple other folks did, to explore and did find that letter, and also a fair amount of atrocities kind of scraped against the wall, delusions and words and arcane runes that don't seem to make much sense, written under the corruption of Goy. Um, And so at the moment, you're all kind of just lounging about on the balcony of the estate and wondering what to do next.
I was about to ask, like, do those like scribblings mean anything to us?
They do not. They
Like,
are familiar enough in that you've like now seen them, in the sense like you've
yeah.
seen similar markings kind of scrawled in Branwen's room at the Ebon Lake Tower and Keep, but for the most part, you have not. You haven't like seen or been able to like understand what they mean up until this point.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna go inside.
Okay.
I will follow Branwyn.
Um, I think we probably all will. yes, absolutely.
Um, I'm gonna first go up to my room. Um, what is the state of the teleportation circle?
It is still there.
Does it look functional?
Yeah, I should say it doesn't look out of the ordinary or anything of that nature.
Okay, okay. And then I'm gonna look around until I find a room I don't remember being there, which would be El Ray's room.
So you retain recollection of the house itself. So you're aware of like what each room is. You don't necessarily remember who stays in that room, and so you are indeed able to find Elray's room. Um, in the room, you are immediately struck by the put togetherness of it in comparison to some of the other rooms, especially downstairs. Like all of the bedrooms seem in relatively neat working order in contrast to the ground floor of the house, which is quite disheveled and kind of torn apart by the folks that you assume you kind of defeated the afternoon prior or earlier that afternoon. What you do notice is what Lazer Hawk kind of preemptively warned you about, which is on the right side of the room, like by the door, is just the similar etchings as into the wall of the living room below, but wherever possible in a very neat chiseled fashion is like kind of trying to block it out where it just says "Do it for her" over and over again.
Cool. I am
Cool.
just going to start to look through all the his notes.
So there are no notes in the room. There's some paper. Some of it is just like so. If you think back to the letter that you acquired, you would know that he does not remember where he left the notes that he left you. Um,
Okay.
and that much of the papers that are in this room still are written in some ink, but in many cases, what appears to be kind of dried blood, as though like kind of they're pulled, like scratched with his fingernails, um, of some of the same kind of delusions that broke up the letter that you received.
All right. I'm just gonna. I think I'll go back to my room and start looking around in there for anything that seems out of place.
Make an investigation check.
while she's doing that, what's the name of the guy that was that El Ray as we last met him couldn't find?
Scott.
He like went to town.
His name is Scott.
Scott?
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, we should probably try to track him down. Yep. But I'll let Bremen do this first.
I got a dirty 20.
You don't find anything out of the ordinary. In fact, you find that the room is quite well kept. Um, and I suppose the only thing that you'd notice out of the ordinary is an additional lock placed on the door. However, at the time of opening, it was unlocked.
All right. I'm just gonna start slightly manically looking around for. I'll try. Yeah, yeah. I'll just start looking around for
You can
the note.
make an investigation check collectively through the house. What are the rest of you up to?
I'm gonna help her look.
You can do so with advantage, by the way.
15.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm just kind of
If
helping,
if
like watching Bremen.
It's still 15.
okay. Um, despite kind of tearing the house up, you do not find anything outside of like stuff that you already knew existed there. Um, what you do find throughout your time is like very clearly throughout the progression of the affliction, all three of them like started to forget who they were. So in many cases, you see like evidence of them being in other rooms that were not theirs, sleeping in each other's rooms, sleeping together, like in the same space to be together. Like where like you find that one bedroom that you assume was probably Eliana's. Again, you don't remember her. Uh, there's a cluster of bedrolls and things of that nature kind of stacked up together, and like remnants of food that was eaten in there. It's unfortunately a very dull and dim affair in there. It's even to someone who doesn't really have much recollection of these individuals, like pretty harrowing of like how it all went down in the end. The rest of you, it's much more plain to see that these are people that did not remember themselves or really know who they were by the end.
Okay.
What exactly are you looking for?
I'm just gonna leave. There's supposed to be like notes about what happened.
Okay.
He, Lazer Hawk, you can show him the note. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go find Maple. Where's Maple?
You find in searching the grounds that neither Randy Jr. nor Maple are present on the grounds of the estate.
Was Maple at the keep? Oh wait, I think was Maple at the keep?
Yeah, I think we left her there.
I think Maple was at the
And then
keep.
Amber was left in the Feywild.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, Maple was at the keep. I mean, I'll start looking in the little stable, like outside and shit. Yeah.
I will mention to one of my companions out of earshot of Branwyn. Um, isn't it pretty obvious what happened here? What exactly do you think she's trying to find out?
So hold on. I think there is context. So let me share the actual note that was left for her.
It's really sad. Don't read it out loud. It'll make me cry again.
Chris, read it out loud. Make her cry
Don't make
again.
me cry. Oh.
Well, I guess since everyone's seeing it, I guess I'll read it for the audience.
Oh
Um,
man.
Brandman.
Do it in his voice.
Okay.
No! I'm gonna take out my headphones.
Brandman. I can feel. Well, let me not read it off of my phone. I can read it off of the thing I wrote it on. Okay. Brandman. I can feel its pull getting stronger. Every day, my sense of self seems to weaken. I'm no longer the man you knew, and I'd just as soon not have this be the version you remember. I am too proud a man to let it unravel me as it hopes to. Unfortunately, the next few lines are kind of frantically scratched and deviating. There's a lot of words that don't make sense, a lot of it is illegible, and a lot of the runes. I have done what I can to document later stages of the affliction, though I cannot remember where I placed it. I am so sorry. I have sent the others to be with your father in Silverhaven. You need to fix this. Not for me, not even for the others, but for all of us. Whatever it is, do it for you. Stop waiting to believe that you are more than less than. You already are. You are the best of us, Brad. It's why people gravitate to you, that people at their lowest moments look to you and believe in you. And through all this, the pain and the suffering, I know you will see it through. And I want you to know something. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I don't blame you. I want you to know that. That if I had a chance to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I had a chance to live out my dreams. The dreams that I thought died the day Max did. I don't blame you, okay? And I'm sorry I couldn't fix this for you. You are and always have been extraordinary. The greatest thing I've lost. You have always had the makings of something far greater than I could ever teach you. Everything you need and everything you are is already there. Trust in that and trust in yourself, and the world will see what I have always known, that you were meant to shine, and I was merely fortunate enough to walk alongside you for a time. Yours always, Elray Simone Ballard.
That was pretty sad.
Can you see why it made me cry again? I wasn't
Yeah.
even listening.
Except it's all in Lazer Hawk's voice because he's reading it to them.
That would have actually been way funnier.
See, I'm just looking all over the stables while y'all are doing this.
Brandon, I'm really sorry you don't remember him. You know, I never really had a father, and so I'm sorry that you had to go through not remembering yours.
I do not answer him. I just keep going back to searching the stables for a notebook or something.
Oh, if only Randy were here, he could locate object.
Branwen, while you are walking outside, you hear the familiar heavy footfalls of Serafel behind you. Whatever you're looking for isn't here. And quite frankly, we need to move on and understand what we're doing next. I'm sorry.
For what?
Sometimes in war, people die.
Sorry, he's playing Tony Hawk. I mean, you don't have to be sorry because I don't even remember him, so.
You
That's the point. All right, so let's move on.
okay? Where to next?
Why does everybody keep asking me this?
So, Brandon, you mentioned you're going to meet with Amara, so we should probably, at the very least, get you to the Feywild, so that time
I
will
just
move a
need to
little
get
bit
to
more
the
slowly
lake.
for you. Yeah. So let's get you there. And do we need to check on Randy? How's he doing?
I can check on Randy. How about this?
What are we doing in... Sorry, go ahead.
We take a rest. I bring us back over to the Feywild. I drop you guys off at the tower. You look for the machine parts. I'll go back and talk to Amar. Profit.
What are we going to do about the Scott situation?
I mean, I can take care of him. Me and Buster.
I
Easy
don't
peasy.
think it's gonna be that easy. I think El Guy. I think he's in the sewers of Trowood.
Its name is Eli Goy, not El Guy.
El Guy. That's what I've been saying.
And why do you think it's in the sewers?
Because I had a waking nightmare of him in the sewers.
And that's where Scott went. That's where we found him.
It seems like
What?
an awfully convenient place for El Guy to be.
I mean, he could have just been showing me that to freak me out or something, but
If it's in the sewers, shouldn't we tell the people who live above the sewers that they should leave?
Look, I don't really like having loose ends around here. I think if y'all want to go to the Feywild, I can make myself useful here. Track him down, make sure Scott's not an issue.
and
That
I'll
seems entirely appropriate.
I'll be at the lake so you'll be able to call me when needed. Pretty easy.
Sounds good. All right.
Before we go, I think we should destroy the teleportation circle here.
Yeah.
Isn't why?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
What Lazer Hawk just said, loose ends. You know, none of us are going to be staying here, so can't really monitor who's coming and going through it.
I mean, you still have to be a pretty high level wizard to use it.
Okay.
So. I think, honestly, I think it actually probably is going to be okay just as it is.
Okay. As long as everybody is confident, you know.
You think anyone's going to walk into that house and start thinking it's a good place to snoop?
Maybe.
We could burn it to the
It's
ground.
viscerally horrifying.
I am a little sad about that, but not entirely opposed. It's not really a time to be sentimental.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right.
Is this something that we should vote on, or should I get a torch ready?
Well, I mean, we could always. There's a finality to burning it. We don't have to burn it. It's still home.
It's a bit of a fixer-upper now, but
It's,
nothing structurally wrong with it. Feels like a
I mean,
waste
it's
of a good
always been a
home.
murder house, let's be real.
Dunk, I think you are talking through your computer audio again, as opposed to your headset, because I didn't hear any of that if you were talking.
Wait, put your little thingy down.
Yeah, you're
Oh, yeah,
over
you're
now.
back to your computer somehow.
We could hear you, but it's very far away. It's like you're not in your headset.
You
Huh.
sound terrible, respectfully.
How about we just let it sit for a couple days and
Yeah.
if it
I suppose once we burn it, there's no unburning it, and if there's no pressing reason to burn it, then that perhaps is a bit hasty.
Fine.
I mean,
don't
our
burn
only
it.
other house right now is just as haunted, so
Overwhelmingly sentimental. Fine. So some of you are going into the town to understand where this Scott person has gone, to understand just to what extent he has decided to doom this plane of existence. And Brandman, you are going to speak to Amar for
I'm gonna
what?
how about I think this is gonna be the most efficient mode of travel is Randy will word of recall all of us to the wizard tower. And then I can take me and Randy back to the lake. I'm gonna need a night to rest though, because I brought us all here. So
Still,
That sounds good to me.
still coming from far away, Doug. But I think you said you would be going with somebody. Okay.
Just awful.
It's
But yeah, we can tell you're going with Bradwood.
Okay. I'll go with Bregman too. I mean, does it make sense for us to rest in the Feywild if that buys Randy another week?
I mean, yeah, that's we'll just be camping,
Nothing we're not
and we'll
used.
have to spread out. But
Nothing we're not used to.
yeah, well, we'd still need. Well, I can just bring him over. Sorry, I'm just making it difficult. Yeah, I guess we can start heading back. We're not going to be able to get back there quickly to the lake.
Well,
Any better?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
No,
talk
it's
again.
it is
not.
better.
It's not.
It's
Wait,
not.
talk.
It is better.
But it's not still.
It's not 100% better, but it is.
It's not on his head. It's not on his headset.
Yeah.
Wait,
Also
talk
getting a
talk
D-
again.
Getting a decent amount of background noise
So
from you, Evan.
this is I unplugged my PS4 controller, PS5 controller, which was I think is what the microphone was picking up on.
The audio definitely sounds better.
It's louder, but
You're
it's
just getting a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a short break.
Wait, talk with it. The lake.
Okay. I mean, if you
Unless
just
anyone has a faster way to travel, but
if you
I'm
just
spent.
need a few hours, I guess we can wait here, and maybe some of us can go into town while you rest, and we'll come back and we'll go back.
Actually, that sounds pretty reasonable. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Why don't you guys go into town and I'll.
Bramwood should not be alone while she's resting, so I'll stay with her. Just watch over her.
Okay.
Sounds good. And I'm gonna kind of go Buster get and kind of get Buster to.
We should find an article of Scott's clothing upstairs and have.
That's
Buster
what I was doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good idea.
Love it. Love this.
That's funny. Yeah, I was gonna go inside and have Buster sniff around his room.
Okay.
I love some Buster screen time. What a little guy. Just a little puppy.
What
He's so
kind
tiny.
of dog canonically is Buster?
An Irish wolfhound.
He's a mutt.
Big dog.
Okay, so Lazer Hawk, you.
What is happening here?
Lazer Hawk, you have Buster sniff around in Scott's room. You know he kind of bunks with a couple of people in what used to be like more of the guest house, in the back part of the Marigold estate, and are able to pick up some articles of his clothing. And Buster now has the scent. I'm assuming Buster has an ability that helps him do this, or you have
He
an
does.
ability. Yeah, yeah.
It's mostly Buster's ability, but I'm also I also have advantage on tracking humanoids.
Okay.
So
So I'll have you make a survival check, and as you start with advantage, and as you start to kind of get the trail, Seraphel declares, like, kind of parks herself in one of the, like, she, like, very awkwardly sits down in one of the rocking chairs on the estate porch, and is just like, "I'll wait here. I imagine I would stick out like a sore thumb in Trowood."
All right, so Willem, are you coming, or is it just me and Bust?
Oh, I'm definitely
Buster.
coming with you. Me and Bust.
I got a 16 for tracking.
Okay. You follow the road into town, um, and Laserhawk, this is comfortable for you, but Willem, this is the first time that you have been back to Trowood in over 2 years now. And the ramshackle frontier town that you had become accustomed to is long gone. It is now a burgeoning city with a very unfortunate layout where not a lot of, like, clearly no city planners or urban developers were involved in the layout of Trowood, as ramshackle suburb, like, not suburbs, but slums and extensions of the city have just kind of sprawled out wherever possible. Um, and the buildings continue to get higher and higher as you get closer into the interior of town. It is actually somewhat reminiscent of the cities that you have experienced in the Feywild at this point. And there are all number of panhandlers and individuals hawking wares on the side of the street. Um, Multiple individuals, like, kind of selling their wares, crisscrossing the street. It's a very busy environment that you are quite unaccustomed to in Trowood. But it does appear that despite all the confusion, Buster's able to kind of, like, pick up a scent, but it is slow going getting into the city, given the number of, wagon trains, people that are coming and going and to and fro in and out of the city. What you namely notice is a fair amount of foot traffic.
But Buster does get a scent.
He does.
Does
All
it
right, Buster.
to the sewers?
Willem, make an investigation check, or a perception check, as you make your way through town.
19.
Okay. Laserhawk, you can do so as well. Willem, you are struck by all of the changes to the city proper. Um, and the thing that kind of catches your eyes as you turn into one of the what you kind of remember as being like the market square, which has very much become more of a district where the dirt and wheel trodden pathways that lead into the city kind of quickly become more cobblestone and structured in such a way that it clearly lends itself to being a more affluent part of town. Is that many of the buildings are no longer just wood. There's a number of stone facade buildings that have popped up. And among some of those stone facade buildings are a handful of statues, including one that Laserhawk very quickly walks past and attempts to duck his head away from, of being a statue of Laserhawk. And as you make your way into the market square proper, you see also a plaque on the corner commemorating the names of Willem, Branwyn, Dunk, and Randy, who slayed a beast at this very spot. What you also
Oh.
notice is that there are a fair number of people with baggy eyes that seem to be kind of like
No!
walking
No!
around, walking
No!
around, walking around with a fair state of stupor. Seem to just kind of be like slogging through the day.
Maybe there was a really great party last night.
Yeah, you can hope.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh boy.
Let's keep following the scent. I want to at least give Scott a piece of my fucking mind.
What's your beef with Scott?
Guy's a no good fucking bastard is what's wrong with him.
I mean, yeah,
Did-
he certainly doesn't have.
He works
a
for the
statue of
Phoenix.
himself.
What?
I don't know what that is. Yeah, he doesn't have a
Did-
statue of himself in town, so
Look, I caught a serial killer or whatever. They did it themselves. I didn't condone that. I didn't ask for it or anything. It's just what they do, I guess.
yeah, you know how people are always putting up statues and plaques when you don't ask them to. Still,
You're telling me.
it's nice.
Well, keep following the dog.
All right. Yes, Bramer?
Wait, question.
Yes.
Did Cena go with them, or is she staying behind?
Cena stayed behind.
Oh my god.
And we will get to that in a few minutes. But Lazer
She
Hawk,
loves you.
Lazer Hawk and Willem, you follow the pardon. You follow the scent for some time, and Lazer Hawk, make an insight check as you make your way through town.
Baby, a 20. Dirty
Yeah,
20.
a sense of dread starts to overtake you as you start to realize where you are being taken and led to, and realize that you're starting to kind of get closer and closer to the docks. And that as you kind of cut through the market, you can see the docks like, teeming with life this time of day. It's still fairly early in the morning. There are a fair number of cargo ships that are unloading their goods onto the piers, and people like shouting out instructions. And Buster continues to kind of duck and weave between them, and it starts to kind of he like kind of gets towards a particular like landing that juts out off of the main docks, but is still bordering the water and dropping off into the water, and points like with his nose up towards the dockside tavern, which you are familiar with as having been the place where you recently encountered the Phoenix while working with Branwyn.
All right, so Scott's in there. Motherfucker's working with the Phoenix.
What is the Phoenix?
Y'all been gone a long time. Yeah, Phoenix is they're the Syndicate, but like reborn. They call themselves the Phoenix because they're not very creative.
Okay.
Hey, wait a
And
second.
we do not like them.
That's not a knock to you, Chris.
I was just sitting here kind of reading your chat. I was like, wait a second, did I just get insulted?
It's actually really good world building because these are not very educated people who are making the Phoenix, probably, and so it makes sense that they wouldn't be very creative.
That's right.
I like it, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah. They could be named after Leo Messi. That would be pretty creative. So we get in there, we find Scott, and then what?
See exactly how bad the damage is. Seems like it's not too great already, but
Yeah.
I don't know. At the
Probably.
very least, we could give him a piece of our mind.
Now, when you say piece of our mind, does that mean piece of our swords?
Piece of our pointy bit. Not
Yep.
not our penis, but our sword.
Yours is pointy? That's weird.
I got Game of Thrones sticking with the pointy end. Yeah, on my mind.
Yeah, no, I understand. We will take care of business. He'll pay the iron price.
Oh, God. All right.
I approached the tavern and kind of shove the door open and swing it as much as possible,
Okay.
making a grand entrance.
Uh,
The saloon piano stops.
Yeah, yeah.
Person looks over at the door. As you step in, the familiar kind of wet slap of briny air mixed with stale ale and rotting wood. It just smells real bad as you step in. The Willem, the ceiling is quite low, It's got crisscrossed with like old beams, clearly placed in a lot of different places to kind of prop up a ceiling that is not structurally sound. And you're immediately like struck by like how much of the walls are like littered with knife marks, both from being thrown, and unfortunately, you also kind of quickly see a telltale sign of some etchings on the tables that match some of the work you've seen on the walls of the Marigold Estate. Uh, there are no heads that turn as you enter. Um, Instead, Lazer Hawk, you hear a as you look down and see a familiar face in Milo, who greeted and accosted you the last time that you were there. Though he is not sitting in front of the bar, he is rather taken up behind the bar.
Are there are other patrons here as well?
There are no other patrons. It is just Milo behind the bar.
Okay.
Hello, Milo.
Mr. Hawk, a pleasure to see you once more, sir. To what do we owe the pleasure? I'm sure we would not have expected to see you here so soon after your misgivings.
First of all, name's Lazer Hawk. I don't have a last name.
Who's your friend?
This is my compatriot Willem, not a
Also that
hag.
Buster.
No last name, eh? That's not quite what I heard. Mr. Gumption.
God, his name was Gumption.
Oh yeah, his name is Scrapped Gumption.
I always forget his name is Goofy. uh,
Whatever. Yeah, look, you know where Scott is.
Scott, I wouldn't have the slightest idea. I think it's it would not be on me to say he has business with Kale all the time, and I would not want to think that you have any business with him after your misdeeds. I shouldn't even be having you in this bar right now. You associate yourself with dangerous men, Mr. Willem.
I'll
Look,
just
you
sort of silently nod.
you got how are your dreams been of late, Milo?
Uh, uh, that is not a question that I am interested in answering at this time. You really shouldn't be here. If Flicker finds out that you're in here, she'll have my head, and I've already got enough problems with Kale.
I'll take out
I'm
my
gonna
cross. Oh, go
get
ahead.
in. Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna get in his face and pick him up, like pick up or try to lift him up by like the front of his shirt.
Make a strength check.
17.
Yeah, you're able to like. He has very wiry glasses and like slick back hair. He's a very frail guy, and he's just kind of like fidgeting with his hands, and all of a sudden you like grab his chest and pull him in. Oh God, Mr. Miller, please, please.
I take my crossbow out and point it directly at his head as Willem does this, and I go,
Please, we don't need more spill more
I
blood in
don't
here.
give
You've already
a
ruined one tavern. You're gonna ruin another one.
I don't give a fuck what Flicker says. I'll have your head if you don't start answering questions.
Please.
Just tell us what we need to know,
Well,
Milo.
okay, fine, Paul, fine. What do you want to know? My dreams? I don't know. They're as normal as anybody else's. Sometimes they involve other men, but that's not a problem, right?
We're not homophobic. We just want to know if you're dreaming about black goo.
Oh, I just meant because of my. Oh, never mind. Goo. Laserhawk, you know that Milo is a married man. So he's saying that
Oh,
he's dreaming about infidelity.
got it.
Yeah.
No black goo, no I know your face and soon you'll know mine.
What did you just say?
Oh, Milo, you just made a mistake, I'm afraid.
What? Mistake? Mistake about what? I just thought they were being nice
I
to me.
just
They
turned
did.
to Lazer Hawk and
They tell me they know me. They tell me they know me and they want to be with me. And I, sometimes,
in your dreams,
sometimes I need that. It's nice to be wanted.
did they tell you this face to face or in your dreams?
In my dreams, I'm a married man. I, they don't like what I do. They don't understand what I do. But I need to provide for this family, and that's the only way I can. I do what I do because that's what I have to do.
I'm just gonna put him down and turn to Lazer Hawk and lean against the bar and be like, "What are we doing here?"
I think the
What?
city's fucked.
What
I
are
think
we
we just
doing here?
gotta.
Quite obviously fucked.
I think we gotta take it at its source. I think Scott's a lost cause. Bastard.
Scott? You're here looking for Scott, you said?
I've been saying that, boy.
Well, yeah, well, like, now it feels like there's something that I might be able to offer you to get you the hell out of this bar and not tell anybody about 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 what I just told you.
I'll just sort of pat him on the shoulder and go, "Your secret's safe with us, but you have bigger concerns, my friend."
Don't I know it? Kale's been on me all day and night saying that we ain't bringing enough business. It's not my. People here around here are dropping like flies.
Do you love your partner?
Why? Yes, yes, of course.
Your partner have any strange dreams lately?
Well, they moved out a while ago. I'm trying to work things out.
Well, I hope it works out for you.
Me too.
Ah, very sorry to bother you, Milo. Good luck with this establishment. We won't say anything to anybody.
Kale's not gonna like hearing about this, Lazer Hawk. This is you breezing out of this place after what you've done, and don't think people don't know about what you've done. They
Well, of course
know
people
that.
know what he's done. There's a statue to him in the town square.
Oh, you don't even tell your friends about the things that you do, eh? There, Mr. Hawk, Mr. Gumption, because we know somebody that still walks when they shouldn't be walking, let alone talking.
I'll see you later, Milo. But hopefully not.
Don't you come
I
back here
turn
now.
around. Turn around and head back, I suppose.
All right. Willem, was there anything that you wanted to do in Trowood?
Yes, but I need to consult with the group first.
Okay.
I would like to talk to Willem very quickly.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. As you guys begin your walk back to camp.
When what Milo was saying about stuff I've done, yeah, it's just killing. I've just killed people. I figured you, of all people, would be very cool with that.
I mean, it probably depends on who you killed, but right now, I don't really think we have the luxury of rehashing one another's past and who killed who and why. What matters is you're on the right side now, and there's a bigger threat that we have to deal with. So,
Yeah, they're all unsavory folk. Oh, and I killed the mayor, Thomas Blunt.
was he a bad guy?
No, not at all. And I brought him back to life immediately. So really, no harm, no foul. It's a long story, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's okay with me. Do you have can you send a message spell?
Nah, I never learned that one.
Okay. Chris, is there anybody in town who could send a message?
Oh, but I do. Okay.
However,
I cast Animal Messenger. So I summon a bird that comes and I
Oh.
can
What kind of bird?
Wait, no, I
just
by
tell it
law,
to-
DM law is that it's a crow that also wears an eye patch.
I love it. Yeah.
What kind of message are you looking to send?
I
Maybe.
tell
Yo,
everybody. You
Evan.
can send a
Yo,
message
Evan, you're
to
echoing like
Branwyn.
crazy. We can hear you. Okay,
I
sorry.
am thinking about just tell them that I'm thinking about paying Zoltar a visit and possibly, depending on what he has to offer, thinking about bartering with the deck.
Classic.
With your dick?
The deck.
Oh.
Do you know about that?
Hello. I'm holding the crow in my hand. Um, howdy. Willem is thinking about maybe doing business with Zoltar with the deck. Um, he would like to know what y'all think. Fly.
Now go on, get.
Now go on, get.
Unfortunately, by the time the crow arrives at the Marigold Estate, given that it's pretty close, Bremen is still resting, and so only Dunk, Cena, and Seraphil are around to answer. So I'm going to say that Dunk gets to decide what the reaction is there. Dunk, as you are lounging on the porch of the Marigold Estate, a crow that has like kind of a weird spectral essence descends and lands on your shoulder, and you see that is wearing an eye patch, and it opens up its beak, and in Lazer Hawk's voice, Willem wants to go to Zoltar and do business with the deck. Thoughts? You can respond to this. You can respond to this message, even if you can't. You can.
So, I'm gonna be obviously like very visibly annoyed, and then I'm gonna just say, "Oh yeah." So right here to the left. And I'm just gonna say, I trust Willem to make the decision about the deck.
What?
God help us all. God help us all.
Okay. You after a few minutes of kind of standing there in the docks district of Trowood, the laser bird returns and belays that message to you, Willem.
Why
Why
can't it
wasn't
be
it
a
a hawk?
laser hawk?
Why wasn't it a hawk?
Oh, damn it! That's way better.
Retcon. It's a red-tailed hawk. Retcon. It's a red-tailed hawk.
It's a hawk now.
It's a hawk, but it's made out of lasers. You can kind of see through it.
Oh, it has laser
Pure
eyes. It has
light.
laser eyes.
Awesome.
And it has one laser eye.
Uh, um, yeah, they said trust your own judgment, Willem.
That has never ended well for anybody, so I'm also going to ask you. Um, I happen to have a deck of cards that I keep here in my right sock, and it has reality altering powers. Um, and
Let me see this thing. Let me see this thing.
I will take it out, but I will say, do not take a card. There will be consequences. They can be good consequences or bad consequences or neutral consequences, but there are consequences. One time I pulled one and it gave me the answer to any question I wanted. Another time, um, somebody pulled one or we found one and it gave us lots of jewels. And then we also found this in the place that we found Eligoi. So, it didn't end well for them.
But it has been ending well for us.
we are 2 for 2. I've only pulled one. The other one, we pulled the card not from this deck. It was separate, but we actually got it from this guy Zoltar who's in town, who I'm thinking about going to talk to. And I'm thinking of being like, "Hey Zoltar, what kind of cool stuff do you have in exchange? Maybe you get to pull a card from the deck."
Willem, I don't think that we should give this man this deck.
I'm not giving him the deck. I'm just gonna let him take one, and he has very powerful magical artifacts at his place.
And Willem, we're against a reality altering monster, right?
Hence why I think it would be good to have powerful magical items. Yes.
Lazer Hawk draws a card.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa!
damn. Okay, so you have to declare how many you are drawing, and that is one card.
One card. Yeah.
I just look up at him and I'm like, "What the fuck did you just do?"
You gotta
Hold
bend
on.
reality to kill a monster like that, boy.
Yeah, but you also could kill yourself.
Pick a number
Risk and
between
reward.
1 and 16.
9.
One showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This does not change the structure of the deck at all. It retains the same structure it has always been. You have drawn the Uriel card. I'm not going to pretend that I pronounces that right. Okay. As you pull the card and stare into it, Lazer Hawk, you feel the eyes of the card shudder and look towards you. And as you do so, you feel paralyzed in fear for just a moment. And your brain starts to itch, and you hear a faint kind of scream in the back of your mind. And you just feel like a sinking feeling in your heart. And while affected this way, you will have a -2 to saving throws in perpetuity.
That one didn't work.
That
I feel
wasn't what I expected you to do. Why did you do that?
I draw another card.
Oh well, hey, maybe not.
Pick,
Maybe not.
pick a number between 1 and 15.
After he takes the card,
15
I'm putting the deck back in my
or
sock.
15?
15, yes.
3.
1, 2, 3. This does not change the order of the deck in any way. It retains the same order it had previously. As you look at the scale of balance on this card, um, you hear the scream in the back of your mind once more, and it twitches, and a sense of self that was predominantly only ever acting in the best, whatever was the best action for you. You now feel an overwhelming compulsion to act in the best interests of the many as your alignment shifts from a chaotic evil to a chaotic good. Sorry, lawful good.
Level lawful good bounty hunter. That's just a cop.
You were a chaotic evil, right?
I was a lawful evil.
Okay, so you are now chaotic good.
Oh.
No more cards. What are you doing?
No, I wanted another one, and I
No,
start
no.
fighting him for it.
No.
You
No.
can make a contested dexterity check to attempt to do so.
Oh my god, I'm so bad at those.
23.
8.
How does it feel, Nolan? How does it feel?
Okay. You may draw one more card and pick a number between 1 and 14.
As he does so, I am going to put my hand on the haft of the glaive and I say, one more, and then you stop. And if you don't stop, I stop you.
I choose 13.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This hasn't changed the order of the deck. The deck remains the same. And you have drawn. Okay, as you pull the card from the deck, and you see a smiling, laughing clown who gives you a faint wink, which would
It's
afford you
Philatro.
the opportunity to level up or draw 2 additional cards.
He's gonna draw 2 more cards.
Gonna
Uh,
attack you!
So unfortunately, because of the deck, how the declaration works, you are bound by the nature of the cards, and they effectively just take.
Branwen's gonna lose another dad.
They come from the like they come from the deck, so you don't actually like physically see him drawing. But what you do see is the Jester card spins and reinserts itself back into the deck in a random location.
Oh my god.
You may now pick 2 numbers between 1 and 14.
Give me a 4, give me a 10.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, fourth card
Is this
goes
what
down.
gambling feels like? Great.
Or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As the 2 cards rise from the deck. Oh. Okay. That's crazy. The 2 cards float out of the deck, revealing the Jester card once more and the Throne card, granting you the ability to draw 2 more cards or level up. The Throne card also gives you proficiency in the Persuasion skill, as the king on the card tips their crown to you in an action. And that also doubles your proficiency bonus made on skill checks with Persuasion. Um, in addition, you feel a rolled up piece of paper appear in your right hand.
I have -1 persuasion.
So you are
So with
now
proficient.
proficient in it, um, and you get to double your proficiency bonus.
That's awesome.
And you must decide what you are doing with the Jester card. Will you draw 2 more cards or level up? You can, however, see in front of you that Willem is like lifting up his glaive, but like time seems to be moving slowly around you as the cards hover in front of you, and the Throne card begins to disintegrate, and the Jester card spins in front of you.
If I wasn't chaotic good right now, I'm doing 2 more cards.
Okay. The Jester card is being reinserted back into the deck in a random location,
Surely you will not be punished for this.
and you will pick 2 more numbers between 1 and 13.
I can't believe this.
1 and 2.
The
1,
first
2.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Hold on. Okay.
Big whammy.
I'm so stressed right now.
Hold on.
No whammies.
Okay. Hold on.
No whammies.
It feels like a whammy. It feels like
So,
a whammy.
as the 2 cards float out of the deck, the first one turns towards you, which is the card of ruin. It is the same king that gave you and tipped their crown to you, but they look disheveled and desperate, and their crown is broken in their hands. And they look And they nod to you, and you instantly feel the satchel around your waist, the crossbow by your side, the piece of paper in your hand vanish from existence. And everything that you're holding kind of feels, your coin purse feels lighter. Everything about your things that you owned don't feel to be attached to you anymore. But you're given only a moment to ponder that. As a smiling individual wearing a tipped hat, not unlike your old own, and wielding a rapier, pointing it at the card in front of you, the Don John. And Willem, you are the individual that gets to experience as Lazer Hawk's physical form vanishes in a flurry of light in front of you, leaving only his clothing and whatever remnants of what was left behind on his person in a heap on the ground. Buster lets out a simple whine, and I will have Lazer Hawk leave the table. The deck of many things that Lazer Hawk was holding falls to the ground in a small pile.
I scoop it back up and shove it in my sock.
You
And
understand?
I'm just like,
Okay, go ahead.
I understand he's gone.
Yes,
I remember who he was.
you
Yeah?
do. You do.
Okay. Um, the problem is Nolan knows what the Donjon card does, but Willem doesn't. Ah, fuck. Um, well, uh, do I have could I find a quill and paper somewhere around here?
There are any number of shops that you could visit to procure those.
Okay.
Um, Buster is at the moment whimpering and kind of pawing at the remnants of Laserhawk's clothes on the cobblestone street.
I'm gonna kneel down and gather up Laserhawk's things and put them into a satchel that I have or a backpack or something, and I'm just gonna pet Buster if he lets me, and I'm gonna go, uh, listen, boy, he, he's not dead, but he's not here anymore. I don't really know what just happened, but we're gonna find him. I hope. Why the hell did he do that? Um, I'm trying to animal handle him and make him
You
soothe
can
him
make
as best I
you
can.
can attempt to make an animal handling check. Yes.
Uh, 17.
Yeah. He whimpers and whines, but he does kind of accept like your hand underneath his hackles. And if you go anywhere else in the town, he will follow.
Okay. I am going to find the nearest shop and go in and ask. Uh, very sorry to bother you, but can I please borrow a quill and a piece of parchment, please?
Of course, I'd be more than happy to help you with this. And he pulls out a big stack of parchments. You have come to the right place. This is, of course, Magnifico's Quill and Parchment Emporium.
Oh, wow. That's magnifico to see you. Um,
What?
I will take the parchment and just quickly write Laserhawk pulled too many from the deck. He disappeared. I'm still going to see Zoltar. Be back by nightfall.
Okie dokie.
And I will roll up the piece of parchment and I will turn to Buster and I will say, now listen. I need you to take this and go back to the estate.
Stop! No!
Would would you feel better if you had a friend? You know what? We can go back together. You can stay with me for now.
Okay.
Um, I will turn to Magnifico and pull out.
This will be 7 gold.
Do I have any gold, or is that all with Dunk?
You all have been keeping at least 100 gold on you at any given time after
I'll,
previous circumstances.
yep, I'll
Oh, that
slide
was
him.
so funny.
I'll slide him 7 and be like, "Thank you very much,"
Much obliged.
and I will go see Zoltar.
Okay, while you're off doing that, let's go ahead and turn our attention to arresting Branwyn, Cena, Seraphel, and Dunk.
Great. Great.
Branwyn is still resting. You also find that you find that Cena is avoiding Seraphel at the current juncture, who only spends a hot second in the rocking chair. You can see that she's clearly not comfortable in it. But as you're kind of left there, and Branwyn heads upstairs to rest, Seraphel will
I am
approach.
not sleeping in that goddamn house.
Wherever you are resting, Seraphel approaches.
I'm gonna go into Maple's hay bale.
Okay. It's also Randy Jr.'s hay bale, so it smells weirdly of bear. Seraphil kind of paces the grounds, while Clarissa approaches you, Dunk. And you kind of just what? Where are you? What are you up to?
So I'm hanging close by Bramwyn, but not too close because we'll let her sleep.
Mhm.
But within earshot, certainly, in case she starts having some crazy dreams.
Okay. As you're, so I'll say Bram, when you're in the back, in Randy Jr.'s lean-to. So Dunk, you were hanging out on the back porch, to which Clarissa kind of attempts to slide along the banister and crosses her legs in front of you. So, Dunk, furry, nice, save me from an existential and very real prison. Why did you do that? And my second
So,
question is how, because I thought it was kind of permanent.
so the how, I can't really tell you. I just I met with these people at some place called um I, fuck me Evan always forgets it.
The Ashenmore.
Yeah, the Ashmore. Yes. And they taught me how to kind of meditate a bit with this cool rock that we found. And uh, are you familiar with Celesite?
Celesite. More like celebrate. I love that stuff. Draken used to talk about it all the time. And he said I wasn't allowed to go near it because it was a dangerous arcane focus. Well, joke's on him because I totally fucked with that stuff. So you're telling me that I could have been figuring out how to use that to control the stuff that happens to me? And it makes it stronger.
Um,
You're stronger now.
Stronger, I guess. Yeah, a little bit more in control.
You're definitely one of the. And she kind of squeezes a bit of your muscles. Just you're definitely the buffest magic person I've ever seen.
Oh, thanks. Um, but yeah, I mean, I totally came by this by accident. I was really trying to steal from. Now I know it's Draken Boss. At the time, I didn't. It was just some dude, right? Um,
Wait a second. No,
no,
no.
shut up.
You're the guy. He used to scream about you into my. He would just like he'd come into the study and just scream and scream about dunk, dunk, dunk. And I thought he was talking about like bobbing for apples or something of that nature because I couldn't see what he was talking about. But I only just heard the word dunk, dunk, dunk over and over again, usually followed by kill and die, but also sometimes interesting, which is similar like the kind of the same things he used to say about me when I was not even in an orb, which is crazy to think about. But I can't believe you're the guy. You stole me. Oh my god. That means that you came by me before it was meant to be. That means that you. Do you know what this means?
Bestie, what?
You're the way you are because of me. You're so welcome.
So, thank you.
How, I
But
mean, like, these
also,
are such a great, like, sometimes, like, when I just was trying so hard to get, I could feel things were different. I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I wasn't where I was supposed to be ever because I was locked in an orb in a place where sometimes some people call it a sphere. I call it an orb. Or maybe, is it a ball? But either way, I was locked inside this thing and I couldn't get out of it. But all of a sudden, I felt like I was moving. And it was like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And there was like a lot of activity happening all around me. And I tried to explode out of it. And all I wanted to do was just get out. And I heard screaming, someone screaming loud. Someone. Does it cause you a lot of pain?
yeah, actually, um, excruciating. Um,
I. I'm sorry, but like I'm not sorry because I feel that every day.
yeah,
But also, it's like a drug. I just want to feel it all the time. I want to understand. Like, it's like it's like how I imagine that blonde girl feels when she holds that gun. It's just a feeling of power that you get to have over not
it
just
just
one, but everyone around you. Everyone around you who thinks you're small and nothing or less than
or stupid.
or stupid, and for a moment you're not. For a moment you're everything that they're afraid of and more. Is that what it feels like?
More.
And don't you love it?
It's I live for it.
Yeah. Oh, this is like, do you believe in fate?
For a long time I didn't, but as soon as I met you, I did.
And do you ever think about dying?
I mean, all the time because we get into those situations a
And
lot.
that's why we don't need those people. Like, if they're afraid of us, they're afraid of us because they should be, right?
Gonna stop you there. Um, we do because they,
Don't get it. They can't fathom what courses through us.
but you know, they all that pain that it inflicts, it they make it worth it. And I know you just met them, but if you give them a chance, I I I really think now you to be fair, you did come at a time where it was a little tense.
Mhm.
Um, but I think if you give them a chance, they'll grow
Oh,
on you.
oh no, your friends seem very nice. All of them. I know you can't do what you do alone. Everybody needs helpers. Draken had tons. Most of them robots, but some of them real. Some of them I used to be friends with. Some of them I used to work with, and then one day they put me away and they trapped me, and I learned that you're not supposed to trust the people that are closest to you. But I trust you. And I trust that whatever you do, you wouldn't want to do anything to hurt me. You tried to help me.
Absolutely.
Whether you knew it or not, you were trying to help me back then. I just know it. That's what
I
that's what she said. She said that too.
Who said that?
Well, I don't really remember her name. Hold on, I think she used to talk to me all the time. And I don't hear her like I used to. Just another person that's left me all alone. You won't do that, right? Because
Never.
I think there's something here. I think I think like when you know you meet someone that you want to change the world with. For the better.
That you want to change the world for?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're not afraid of us anymore.
No.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary.
Yeah. By any means necessary. Oh, Dunk. This is like. If I could share it with anybody, I'm so glad I could share it with you.
I'm glad I could share with you too. And I'm gonna share this with you too. And I'm gonna
Whoa.
offer her a Celestite. So
Uh.
this is what
Oh. Oh, I'm well aware. Fuck me. Don't actually. That is exactly what I need right now. Do you like you feel the high? Is like it's something else, right?
absolutely. I haven't been really good at like really focusing on the Celestite and
I'll show you. I'll show you. I can show you things that you wouldn't dream of. You think you know what we have. You don't know the half of it. You might not even know the eighth of it, or maybe the 13th. But I can at least get you to 3/4. And you'll have to do some of it on your own.
well,
But I never got to have a good teacher. I
I
can make
didn't.
sure that you can have one with me.
Oh. I mean, anything I can do to help my friends get through this whole mess.
Oh, they'll be so glad they have us. They'll be lost without us.
I think so too.
Yeah. Cena is going to walk past. What the fuck are you two talking about?
Oh, Carissa's gonna help us.
Great.
It's gonna be great.
Where's Brandon?
Oh, she's sleeping in there.
Okay. Branwyn. Some time passes. Do you need a minute?
One really got me.
I need a minute.
You're muted.
Me. I'm muted.
No,
Is
no,
that
it is.
is that not where you were going with that?
What?
Read the general chat.
Oh man. I need a minute because I'm.
Oh man. Oh, my tummy hurt.
So good.
Holy shit. Okay.
Oh, that's really funny, Nolan. That was really
Oh
good.
man.
3/4 might be generous.
Be better. Just be better.
It's a joke, Stephanie.
Be better, Nolan.
I'll try.
Abort just thought.
The
Abort just thought.
delivery of "It's a joke, Stephanie." Full name. Holy shit.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of geeking out
this
right
has
now.
hurt my abs.
My standing desk
This has hurt
isn't.
my abs.
My standing desk just is coming undone, and I'm trying to fix it at the moment. So please hold.
Oh.
Fuck me. Okay. Okay. Branwyn.
Yeah.
You awake from your spot in the woods. Oh, sorry, in Randy Jr.'s lean-to. And as you kind of come out of your trance and find yourself feeling more rested than you have in quite some time, thanks to the effects of the amulet that you now wear. You do feel something of a strange sensation where you feel the passing. It feels like someone is close by, but you don't feel it like on your neck or hear it in the bristle of leaves or cracking of a twig. You feel it almost as something like brushing past your mind. And it feels warm and familiar. And as you kind of look to your side, you can see through the cracks in the lean-to that Cena has kind of propped herself up and is like holding her knees up against her chest and leaning against the other side of the lean-to, unaware that you've awakened.
Probably just sit there for a minute or so. Nothing's happened in the past 4 hours, right?
Not that you're aware of. Cena does chime in. And
I
she goes,
asked her that.
oh, hey, sorry, I didn't realize you were awake. A bird.
You shouldn't be.
From what?
You shouldn't be hanging out with me when I'm sleeping.
A bird stopped by from Lazer Hawk. Willem's at Zoltar's, I believe. Potentially gambling with the deck of many things. Well, I don't know what it's called.
What?
The deck that you found in the Undercity. And that girl that we dragged out of the orb having a very weird conversation with Dunk right now. And I don't know where Setterfeld is, and quite frankly, I'm okay with that. Listen, I feel like I'm not going to apologize to you, because I have a right to be angry with you. But I understand that everything that you're doing, while misguided, you're the most selfless person I know. It's really fucking annoying sometimes, especially when I've grown up around a lot of people who are not selfless. And I realize that part of love is putting that person before you sometimes. And I'm still fucking pissed. And I still don't think we're doing the right thing. But I love you. And, well, I haven't been there for you. And I am now.
Thank. I'm just gonna give her a big hug. That's entirely too long and definitely too tight.
She reciprocates it fully. And as she kind of reciprocates, she also goes, it's okay. It's okay.
Alright, okay, so what's happening now? I just
Willem.
woke up.
Willem is at Zoltar's. Clarissa and Dunk are hanging out on the porch. And I don't know where Lazer Hawk is, and I assume Seraphel is off brooding somewhere.
Okay, that sounds about right. Oh, geez. Okay. Let's. I mean, I guess we should grab it, get everyone together. Should I like message Laserhawk or Willem to get them to come back here?
Well, Willem said he'd be back in the evening, so, I guess you only have to wait about 30 more minutes.
Okay.
To which, Willem, you arrive with Buster at Zoltar's.
I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry.
It's
Just
okay.
letting you know.
3, 2,
Maybe
1,
not.
go.
That was killing his past. I've conquered
Um,
it.
my desk is going to annoy me the rest of the night. You walk into Zoltar's and you hear the familiar ding of the bell on his door. The shelves piled high as they have been, and you hear his familiar, soothing voice from the back of the shop. Well, welcome, traveler, to Zoltar. Willem, what the fuck are you doing here? I haven't seen you in 2 years. You came all this way to see little old Zoltar? I can only imagine you
I
have some
mean,
fine stories to tell of your adventures throughout this plane and the next. What has kept you so long
yes.
from my humble abode? And he's actually going to come in and give you a big
Have.
hug.
Oh, I didn't know we were chill like that.
I'm
Sure,
sorry,
I'll
it's just been
reciprocate.
so long since I've seen you.
I didn't know you were so fond of me.
Well, it's, you're a customer, a shrewd one at that, and we've made a bargain, and so I would always be interested. I can only assume that you have returned here after all this time to talk about said bargain. So tell me, pray
Yes.
tell, what have you learned of the Book of Many Secrets?
Well, I have learned about that book, and boy, did it have many secrets. And had it, I didn't have it. One of my friends had it, and then I think he lost it, but I'm not totally sure where it is right now.
Uh, uh, uh,
So
I beg,
sorry.
I beg your sweet pardon. That was a family heirloom that you have now just told me in no uncertain terms that you are no longer in possession of.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, your family heirloom was full of lies.
I'm sorry. So you're telling me you figured out how to read it? Because as I
Uh,
previously said, I was not capable of understanding the languages within those their pages. So if you mean to tell me that you were able to
I
translate
I
said
didn't
book,
re- I didn't read it, but a friend of mine was able to read it. He did go a little bit insane in the process, and yeah, it was a story about the creation of the world and the planes, but it was written sort of as most history is by the perspective of the victors, and it turns out it's full of lies and half truths, and oh boysy, things are not good in the world.
I'm afraid that I'm going to need a far more detailed answer. This was, after all, I said, my pappy and my own life's work to find the pages of that here compendium. And so if you're telling me that
Yeah.
you were able to understand it, read it, learn from it,
Uh,
glean things from it, and also lose it in the process, I would be, well, I would be heartbroken and assume that to be a great, 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 great debt, as it
well,
was,
again,
after all,
I
a loaner.
understood. I did not um, read it. I did not lose it. If you have a problem with it, you can take it up with my friend Randy.
Randy,
I can,
yes.
yeah, I can direct you to him. He's a little bit busy right now, doing a lot of reading these days. Um, but I came here because I am in the market for powerful magical artifacts, and I have something that you might be interested in bargaining for.
Well, color me intrigued and a shade of magenta. Zoltar is always interested in learning about would-be opportunities for procurement, but I would say that we find ourselves in a bit of a debit at the moment. For you have taken something that is quite precious to me and, well, misplaced it. And even though you yourself might have been the one responsible for that, I still consider your party a party of that debt.
Sure. And I've told you how that debt can be resolved. Again, talk to my friend Randy. He'll tell you everything he learned in the book and more. He will illuminate the falsehood. And yeah. And Randy would also be the person who knows the best about where you can find that book again. Because I totally lost track of it. I honestly thought he still had it for a while, but was just reminded that he didn't.
Well, fair enough. So, what is it exactly that you have come into possession of that you would think that Zoltar is so lovingly intrigued by?
I will sort of hold out my arm to create some distance. I'm going to say at least 10 feet. And I will reach down into my greaves and pull out the deck, and I'll just face it towards him and say, "Look familiar?"
Uh, Playing cards?
Oh, come on. You don't remember the playing card that my friend pulled and that all the jewels came out of?
Surely you're not telling me that there are something like 10 of those that you're holding in your hand? Those are, as I understand it, to be a once in a lifetime type find. Do you really mean to tell me that you have however many you have in your hand right now?
Yes, that's correct. There were more, but my friend did some really stupid stuff with them.
Well, that is a very intriguing concept. Before, so you theoretically have riches beyond your wildest dreams in your hands. Why on earth would you barter with me? Is it because they do not all create jewels, as I have come to learn?
That is correct, yes.
This is a very intriguing thing. I paid a quite price for the two that I came into possession of, and so I must be quite curious to
And
understand. No,
I mean,
please interrupt
information
me.
for. Oh, I'm sorry. Information for information. Where did you get those two? And I'll tell you where I found the rest.
I paid a traveler. Looked, did not know much. He had three in his possession, and he was kind enough to demonstrate the effects by drawing one. So that I could be 100% certain that you carry what you say you carry, I'm going to need proof.
Well, I would be happy to barter with you and let you draw for one if
Oh, no, no,
you.
see, I do not accept the risk myself. This is an understanding
Oh,
that you, the individual who are telling me that you have something so unmightily powerful, you would have to pull.
well,
You see, I'm not
I
interested
would.
in the effects of the cards. I'm interested in the enormous markup that I could receive for them. So, I need to be absolutely understanding that you have the cards that you speak
What are you prepared to offer me for them?
of. At the moment, I would gladly give you 10 gold for a deck of playing cards, but I do not know that they are anything more than that.
Zoltar, I have what I say I have. I am happy to demonstrate that for you. But given that I have what I say I have, what would you be willing to barter?
For a deck of that scale, if you are really saying what you say you have, well, I'd be willing to offer just about anything in my shop and then some. I'm going to take a quick pause to say hello to our first time chatter and let you know that we've got Branwen, who's a bard, Willem, who's a paladin, Randy, who is not here at the moment but is a cleric, and Dunk, who is a wild magic barbarian, and we are all level 14.
I thought we're level 13.
That's right, we're level 13.
Some of us were almost level 15.
That's right, 14.
Oh, yes, 14.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
well, I happen to be in the market for any sort of artifacts that might be able to halt the progression and incursion into this realm of a reality eating god. Do you have anything like that?
Uh, I do not understand just about anything that you just said. Uh, you're asking for something to prevent the coming of a god, or you want to be God?
Yes.
Uh,
No. I mean, it would be nice, but no.
that feels like more of a question for your local temple than little old
Sure.
Zoltar. No,
Yes,
I sell
see,
fine weapons and magic armor and scrolls and potions and all manners of fine things that I've found in my travels and the travels of many others to would-be adventurers such as yourselves. And business has been a booming as the economy has been on the up and up here in Trowood. But no,
what
I do
about
not
that?
have anything that you have been just talking about.
What about that hand?
I assure you, I wouldn't know anything that you are talking about.
Oh, come on.
Certainly not.
Well, then perhaps I can certainly take my business elsewhere.
That's unimportant. Make a persuasion check.
Do I have? Nope, thought I had advantage on persuasion, but I have advantage on intimidation. Persuasion, that is a 15.
Uh, Stop. You are unfortunately just a few days too late. I sold the hand not 3 days ago.
To who?
Oh, well, actually, you're still the owner of the Marigold estate, are you not? It's likely there. That fella that works at your land came in and bought it just a few days ago.
Scott?
I'm not familiar with his name.
What did he look like?
Uh, Tall gentleman, buzzed hair, long trench coat. Looked a bit tired, if you ask me.
Elf or human?
It was a human man.
That's got to be Scottrick.
Copper skin as a man that's been tanned out in the sun all day.
Okay, that is useful information. Also, scary beyond all comprehension. How have you been sleeping lately?
Well, I sleep just
This is
fine.
this
Uh,
is relevant, I promise.
I sleep just fine. I've been coming in and out of this. I live on the outskirts of town. I have heard tell of some folks not sleeping too well, but I sleep right as rain in my little farmhouse just south of here.
So, Zoltar, here's what's going to happen today. We are going to have a bargain, and I will give you some of what you want if you give me some of what uh, you want. I want, rather. And then you are going to pack up your things and move the hell away from here because you shouldn't stay.
Well, I surely wouldn't understand anything that you're talking about if you were meant to convince me that I should be closing up my very profitable business and moving out of one of the fastest growing towns this side of your sun.
Yes, you should do that, and you should, I mean, reopen your business somewhere else. But that sleepiness thing, that has to do with the reality eating god. And if you don't leave, it will eventually come for you, and then you will succumb to madness and turn into black goo. It happened to some friends of ours just today earlier.
Uh, So you have come back after 2 years and expect me to believe the things that you are saying. You are spewing all sorts of nonsense. How am I to understand that you come in here with an immensely powerful magical item in your hands, willing to give it to me, but you have lost the book that I sent you off to find out more about in the first place, and you have come to tell me that the world is quite possibly ending, and that I should be concerned that some of my regular customers are complaining about not sleeping so well. You're saying all these things are connected.
Yes.
Make a persuasion check.
That would be a 15 again. And I will just sort of look at him and go, Zoltar, I have no reason to lie from you. I am looking for powerful magical items for a reason. I told you why. Um, you're probably going to see some strange symbols popping up all across town. That's because it makes you, draw those, and
Well,
eventually you
now
go
that you
insane and you scratch at the walls, and yeah.
now that you mention it, there has been some odd graffiti on the northwest side of town by the docks.
Yes.
Hmm.
And the man that you sold that hand to, which you were reluctant to admit even existed, so you must have had a very good reason to sell it to him. Um,
Well, it's not so much. It's not so much that. It's just that. Well, I don't doing business with the Phoenix ain't really
sure.
something that I like to spill out about a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
Fine. What is it? You're asking an awful lot of me. I haven't seen you in 2 damn years.
Listen, you can do whatever you like. I'm trying to help you. If you know what's good for you, you will take your things once we have concluded business here and go somewhere very far away and take anybody who might happen to live outside of town that you care very much about with you because things are only going to get worse.
Fine. Prove it.
What would you like me to prove exactly?
Prove the cards are what you say they are.
What are you willing to give me for them?
As I told you, and especially if you are telling me that I have to up and move my entire shop, you can take, depending on what you're willing to part with, if you give me the whole deck, you could have your pick of 5 items in my shop. Any of them. For all the cards. However, you grade each one individually for certain items of straight up barter. Unless, if you give me everything, you have anything in this shop, no questions asked. We go card by card, we're going to be bartering.
Chris, um, Stephanie just made a very good suggestion, but I, Willem, would have no reason to know that.
No
Is there any
metagaming.
sort of I was gonna say, is there any sort of roll I can make to stumble upon the idea, or we're just not doing that?
If you hadn't told me, you could have just went with it, but I'm going to say that you you can't come up with an idea yourself in the moment.
Sure. Um, I'm taking a lot of risk on by drawing one of these cards, and I need to be sure it's going to be worth it. So, do you have anything in your shop that could help me stall the incursion of a reality-eating god into the world?
No, how would I even know that? I have immensely powerful things that I could certainly showcase to you, but there's no sense that Zoltar would understand. I don't even know what you're talking about, boy.
Oh, sorry, have I not been clear?
But this is all new information to me. You're telling me that it's the end of the world and it's a reality-eating monster, god, something. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I'm still just Zoltar. And this is still just Zoltar's curiosity shop. I don't have any anti-God things. You're telling me that that hand was something that I should have been concerned about? I didn't know what it does. I
Well,
was charging the hand over fist for it. No pun intended.
obviously you had to know something because you were reluctant to even admit that it was in your store.
Because it's not exactly a very good story of how I found it. I don't like telling people that I was grave robbing.
Oh, freaky.
Boy, what do you want? Just stressing me out to no end. I'm beginning to regret that you ever walked in here.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way after talking to me. Um, well, no time like the present. I will draw one card.
Okay. You may pick a number between 11, 1 and 11.
Willem is gonna either poop his pants or die instantly, and there's no in between.
Chris, you gotta give me number 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has not changed the order in any way.
I got rid of all the bad ones for you. Don't worry about it.
I don't know about that. That's a bad one.
As the card floats up in front of you, you see a twisting black vortex.
Oh, that's got to be good.
And you feel as though reality itself opens up within it. And you feel an insatiable amount of power. As though you could change or erase one event as if it never happened. And you can do it right now, or you can do it until you die.
Oh my god. No, I'm not gonna. Oh, but
Oh my fucking god. I'm gonna hold on to that one for now.
um, yeah. As Zoltar goes, my gods, anything you want is yours. The whole deck. All 10
Yeah.
cards, and you can
Well,
have
not
everything you want in the whole shop.
how am I sure it's gonna be worth it?
I've got some crazy things in here.
Tell you what. How many are left, Chris? There's 10 left.
10 cards.
Okay. I need to ask Chris, you the DM, a question. If I were to trade him the deck for everything in the shop,
Oh, no.
could I?
5 things in the shop.
I thought he said it's all yours.
5 things for the whole deck, or you can go card by card and barter. Like,
Okay.
no questions asked.
If I
5
were
things.
to do that, and then change reality such that I never gave him the deck, would I keep the things?
That I will not answer.
That is the dumbest use of that I've ever heard
But guess what?
in my life.
Then we still have it. Because it undoes me drawing it. Then we still have it.
I will not answer that question.
what?
This is such so like I will
That seems risky.
as the DM, I will tell you that I will like gladly consult on making sure that you don't feel like you've been positively screwed. However, this is enough of a game changer that I will also you guys have to decide.
Oh, we're quite literally changing the timeline. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing that. Here's the deal, Zoltar. You've seen what the deck can do. I will give you 3 cards from my pick of 5, considering I also just gave you information that is going to save your life and your sanity. I feel you're a little bit indebted to me. I've also told you how you can go get information about your family heirloom and get that information. I think that would be a fair bargain.
Make a persuasion check.
Lazer Hawk's pretty good persuasion.
14!
You accepted the terms before we started this endeavor. You could have 5 items for the whole deck, or we could go card by card. So we can go card by card if that's what you want to do, or you can take your 5 items and head on out. I don't owe you anything for the information. That's called being a good person. And second of all, on the topic of the thing, my family heirloom that your group of people have lost, I still don't have it. So you are at something of a debt, my friend. So you can take the agreement that we originally agreed upon, or we can go card by card.
Show me your 5 most titillating items.
Well, sure. He brings you around immediately, first and foremost, to something that he feels will be very keen for you. Uh, he first shows you this, the helm of the Valorant Knight, which is a silver gleaming helm and affords advantage on all wisdom saving throws. And the wearer can activate the helmet to gain temporary hit points equal to their paladin level plus 10.
Okay.
That's the first one. I think you might also be quite interested in this. And he pulls out a giant sword. He says, "This is a bit more your speed. I don't really think the glaive is really what you like whipping around, is it? This is I call it a sword of the Holy Vengeance. That's kind of your thing, isn't it? Holy Vengeance. One might think that this is a +3 greatsword. And it deals an extra 2d10 radiant damage. And
Ooh.
once per day, you can cast Divine Smite without expending any spell slots.
Ooh.
I also have a Silas Stone of Strength, Dragon Slaying Sword, Boots of Levitation, a Cloak of Invisibility, a Robe of Useful Items. Oh, the
A
Silver.
robe of useful items?
That thing slaps. Don't sleep on the Robe of Useful Items. I also have a Silver Horn of Valhalla.
Now, what does the Silver Horn of Valhalla do?
That's a summoning horn, very good for summoning warriors to your side in times of need. Great warriors, celestial warriors, even.
And the Stone of Strength, what does that do?
Please hold.
Oh, Evan, I think you were gone, but I pulled a card that lets me manipulate reality. I can make it as if one event never happened. Or change the event, something like that.
The
Oh,
silence,
you were here.
the Silas Stone of Strength is a very handy stone. When you activate it, it floats around your head and increases your strength by 2.
Permanently?
While active,
What are the terms of the activation?
it requires an action to do so and lasts 10 minutes.
Hmm.
For oh,
4. 4. What's
he's
4?
he's interacting with our chat.
Oh. Ah. Zesty. Well.
I'll tell you what. Make it easy on me.
Tell me what.
I'll give you the Helmet of Valor, the Sword, a Cloak of Invisibility, Boots of Levitation, the Stone of Strength, and the Silver Horn of Valhalla. And I'll even kick in a Peripat of Wound Closure. That's a mighty number of items for the deck.
Mm, nope, I think I'm going to take my business elsewhere, sorry.
Offer stands until tomorrow. But thank you for letting me know you have it. Have a good night.
Do I detect a hint of malice there?
You can make an insight check.
That would be a 16.
Uh, Zoltar always talks a little funny, um, but you've noticed like he's clearly returned to his performative nature by the end of the conversation. And like where you were kind of stressing him out and getting him frustrated and annoyed, he returns to his usual like performative self. And it's hard to tell if that is like truly malicious or just him being performative.
I will turn to him before I leave and say, I'll consider your offer, but I would really strongly urge you not to do anything stupid. Come on, Buster.
All right. Uh, you head back to the estate and find Dunk and Clarissa kind of like kicking they're sitting together on the banister, kicking their legs out and talking with one another.
Aw.
And Cena and Bramwin are kind of tapping their foot impatiently. And as you approach, you can see like a winged shadow pass over the road and land next to them, her knee in the ground. Where's the hawk?
Yeah, everybody should get in here for this. We need to have a conversation.
Did you find out where Scott was?
Oh.
Is Lazer Hawk there to deal with him?
Where's Lazer Hawk?
All right. We're going to start from the top and we're going to work our way down. And I'm going to ask for you to hold questions until the end, if that's okay.
Where the fuck is Lazer Hawk?
He said until the end.
Questions till the end. Thank
Yeah,
you.
he said until the end. Not the start, he said the end.
I will just sort of smile and bow towards Clarissa and Doug. So, we did sort of track down Scott. We went to that dingy old bar by the docks, and there were glyphs carved into the tables. Shook down a very scared gay man who has thoughts of infidelity, and
Brand, when you go, oh,
yeah,
Milo.
he's been having bad dreams, and we were like, oh, you're fucked, buddy. Scott was there, but he left. Um, and yeah, Milo really was like, "Oh, Laser, she's not gonna like that you're here. Oh, jeez, oh boy." And then so we went outside, and I was like, "Okay." Then I asked him to send the message, and he was like, "Wait a second, you have a deck that can change reality? We gotta use it." And then, without my consent, he started drawing cards, and at first it was good, and then it was kind of bad, but still okay, and then it was really bad. But like time stopped, and I was going at him with my glaive to make him stop, and I couldn't, and he disappeared. So he's just not here anymore after he pulled a card. And then so after that, I went and talked to Zoltar, and I was like, "Hey, Zoltar, I have these cards. Do you have anything that could help me kill a god? By the way, there's an evil god who is coming to eat everything, and you should get out of here while you still can." And he was really pissed about the etheric compendium. And then he was like, "Well, you gotta draw a card to prove it to me." So I drew a card, and now I need to look back on the exact terms and conditions, but I haven't used it yet. But I can manipulate reality and make it as if one event never happened or went according to my choosing. I don't exactly remember the terms, but that is the
You
case.
you what,
We'll
boy?
now take questions. Uh, start with Branwen because she asked a question before I began.
I cast teleport and teleport us all back to the lake, and I just walk away.
Well,
Not much of a question.
okay, glad to be here, I guess. Dunk.
So where'd you say Laserhawk was?
So, again, he started pulling from the deck without my consent. Without my consent. I did not condone this activity. And
Bit
he
rude.
pulled a few cards, and it like some good stuff happened to him, I think. And then he pulled one card, and he just disappeared. And he left his dog and all of his clothes. And I think before that, he pulled a card, and it made it so he like lost his crossbow and all his money and some stuff. So yeah, all that's here is his clothes and his dog.
Take care of how you speak with your next words, boy. You mean to tell me that you have the power to change anything?
That is correct.
What does a feeble-minded individual such as yourself hope to do with such power?
Well, I listen. Not to
You
get
think
this
you
ahead
can
of
play
myself,
God,
but
boy? Don't laugh. This is no laughing matter. You do not understand the power that you've just come into hold
watch how you speak to me because now I quite literally can play God.
of. Typical mortal where it goes straight to your head. You cannot fathom what you have the ability to do. You can't understand it. No magic is capable enough to undo reality.
Well, the deck of many things begs to differ.
And how was this written? Where did you find this deck of many things?
Oh, that would be under Old Hallow, in the ruins of the Loeb civilization. Coincidentally, where we first met Eligoi. Well, I didn't meet him. I still am sane.
So we mean to trust this magic that comes from one of the deepest, darkest pits of your realm.
No, no, we do not trust it.
I mean, I think it's fickle by nature, but it did one time give us some cool gems, and another time we actually asked where to find you, and it told us. So,
So far, it's worked out for us, except for Lazer Hawk.
except for the whole Lazer Hawk disappearing and losing his things. Yeah.
Well, then
So
we
do I
obviously
do I
what
trust
we
it?
undo what that we get him back.
Listen, first of all, we don't know that he's like gone forever. He could still be somewhere, and I think obviously we get him back. We could use this to stop the World Eater.
And how? Tell me, pray tell, how you would do such a thing. What moment of
Well,
history would you undo? You barely understand it.
well, that's why I wanted to consult with the group, Seraphel, because you might have some idea about that.
There is
Maybe
no
I could.
there is no moment of time before he existed. There is only time. To undo it would be to unravel everything. He is the very fabric of our realm
And
space.
what if, hypothetically speaking, we undid him coming loose from the crystal lattice that bound him the first time around and just had him bound up again because that's what we're trying to do anyway?
Like if we like undid when the Lobes first like saw him and released him on themselves. Hypothetically speaking, of course.
You know this moment?
We literally know of it, but that's kind of it.
This also, you know, this is a conversation we should probably be having with Branwyn and Randy also present. But yes. So,
She didn't have to walk away.
no, she's upset. Losing two fathered figures in a very short amount of time will probably do that to a person.
One day your luck will run out. And I look forward to being there when it does, and you know the pain.
Seraphel,
Okay, that was a
that
little
is
rude.
ominous for no reason. I am trying to help.
You are dealing with things you do not understand.
Well, help me understand.
I have tried.
Help us understand. It seems like a really good opportunity, and I wanted to consult with you all before we just decided either not to trust it or I squandered it on something because I know sometimes I act without thinking. We are all hoping to accomplish the same thing here, so let's work together like we have been.
She will leave the conversation. Testy.
I will sort of half smile and look at Cena and Clarissa and be like, any other women want to walk away from the conversation while we're doing it?
Oh, fuck off.
It was supposed to be a joke. It was me trying to be lighthearted.
Of course, that was a joke.
Was it funny? Is that something that I wanted to laugh at?
It was maybe a little funny, not like in a really funny way, but in like a
Yeah,
Like that.
not a full blown laugh, but maybe like a forceful exhale from the nostrils.
yeah, like a
Like that.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good one. That's
yeah,
appropriate.
like that.
What the hell are we talking about?
That's a really good question.
Randy! She's going to shout up at the to the height of the tower.
Do I hear her?
Yes. She's screaming.
Is Vicina?
Yes.
Can I poke my head out of the tower?
You can kind of look out the window.
Okay.
And she just kind of
Does it
gestures to the ground next to her.
Oh.
I'll look up at you and go, I have the power to manipulate reality.
Stop. Just stop.
I roll up my scroll and I saunter on down. Hey everybody.
Hey, Randy.
We are all
Uh,
super grateful, Willem, that you are taking this more seriously than the things that you tend to do and involving the group. But like, humor has proven ineffective so far. So let's be serious.
Okay. Well, let's be serious. Long story short, Marigold Estate, totally fucked. The only three people who were left there are now dead. That would be Puck, Elray, and Aliana. The rest of them in Silverhaven. The three of them who we had to kill were taken over by Eli Goy. Bad. Uh, Split up for a second, went into town to look for Scott because he's missing. Trowood, totally infected by Eli Goy. Bad. Scott, somewhere around there. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. Maybe has that creepy hand that we first found when we went into Zoltar's shop that like seemed evil beyond comprehension. But we'll get more of that later. Told Lazer Hawk, gonna go make a deal with Zoltar and say, hey, I have some cards that can manipulate reality. Maybe how do you feel about giving us some powerful magical items that could maybe stop a god who wants to destroy the world? He was really into it. Before he was really into it, Lazer Hawk also really into it. Drew a bunch of cards. Bad things happened. He disappeared. Don't know
Okay.
where. His
Hey,
clothes are in
I
the
got
sky.
an
Only
idea.
like,
Wait,
haha.
you didn't say the thing that you have.
Oh, also went to talk to Zoltar. Was like, hey, have these cards. What can you do? He was like, prove it. So pulled out the card. Was a risk, and now I can make it as if one event never happened or change the outcome of an event. Not exactly sure on the wording. But
Every time
bad.
you look at the card, you feel blessed with the knowledge that uh, you can avoid or erase one event as if it never happened.
That.
Okay.
So now
Well,
we are just having a cordial discussion about what we should do. But I really upset Seraphel, and I think I might have upset Branwyn, but the situation about Laserhawk, I think, really upset Branwyn, so she left.
okay, so two people who we, loved and admired and also helped us out a whole lot are essentially dead. Um, cool. Hold on one sec. And I leave. I'm gonna go upstairs and cast Legend Lore on my scroll. I
Okie
want to know how
dokie.
it was created.
That's a great question. I go back. You have to give me 1 second. It's on my other computer that I brought to Chicago. So we will take a short break while I go get that.
Yes.
Hello.
And it's now legal.
As you cast Legend Lore against the Scroll of Omniscience, you find that the scroll was drafted by Moog Feldsparfinder, um, who was a Loeb executive and child of a rich and wealthy. I wrote rich and wealthy family. He held the position of exemplar, which, if you recall from your time in the Undercity, is of the highest echelon of society in the Lobes, and they were typically kind of the intellectual elite that ran their civilization. Uh, Feldsparfinder uh, was heavily ridiculed for a lot of the time that he was alive. However, he was the first person to be able to imbue, following the work of his predecessor of Exemplar, Geralt Shard. Who was able to imbue items with magical properties. He was able to create the Scroll of Omniscience, which effectively pulled in the essence of the universe that he was attempting to study from previous texts written by Lobes that had traveled the astral sea and throughout realm space. And he was able to imbue effectively the answer of the universe into this scroll. And he wrote it by channeling. Uh, it's difficult to explain without having seen some of the things in the Undercity. However, but you would have learned that the Lobes effectively had something of a hive mind that they were able to tap into from their historical predecessors uh, of Exemplar. So they were able to, what they effectively did was read the contents of other individuals and tap into the lived experiences of those individuals, put it to paper. And so it is obviously very confusing to read. However, studying it for such an extended period of time allows you to tap into that knowledge of the cosmos that they have effectively put to paper.
Okay. Then I will return back to Willem, and I'll say, "All right. So it's
It
pretty
was one of
simple. I
one
think
of
it's
those things I created before anyone was able to like ask like, and how did this come into existence?
like Very easy. We just kind of undo the writing of this scroll because they used the scroll to create the deck of many things. We get Lazer Hawk back. They also use the deck or they use the scroll to create the telescope, which then kind of led to the whole lattice thing breaking. So that would kind of solve our Eli Goya problem as well.
We'd also be poor as fuck because that was how we got our first big
It
lump
would have
of cash.
consequences, but I think it would be worth it.
Wait, if the scroll is never made, it, so if he uses his deck of many things wish to wish for the scroll never being made,
It's not a wish.
then do
I
you
want to make it
still
very
or
clear
not
that it's not a wish.
Not a
not wish, not TM, right? Um, but then does he still have the?
I think it creates a branching timeline.
Okay.
No, this is not chronomancy, correct?
It is
But
not.
if we erase the scroll from existence and never having been existed, then how would I have the deck now?
You wouldn't.
Exactly. But I do, which means that it
Right.
exists.
We're
So,
changing something.
but
We're
yes,
going back and we're
creating
changing it, so it's different from now.
yes, a branch in the timeline, some might call it.
No, it's not chronomancy. This is affecting reality. This is reality mancing.
Thank you, Randy. That seems like a solid plan to me, but I think we should consult with everyone else.
I agree.
What if you used it to
Let's
get a second 10 out of 10 Bajowski from your mom?
The first thought that went through my head was, oh, what if I made it so my parents never died? And that. But yeah, undoing the Bajowski.
No, redoing it
Oh,
like
wouldn't do it.
like
Wouldn't
2.
do again knowing the context. Please, it's called self.
Anyway, I think maybe we should talk to Branwyn first and maybe perhaps not consult Seraphil.
I would rather consult her because she just gave me a big lecture about how I'm a feeble-minded mortal and I don't know what I'm tampering with.
Yeah, no,
So,
we'll say that to anybody. I don't think she'll have anything to add to this.
I mean, I would listen. I would still like to. It never hurts to hear another opinion.
Sometimes it hurts when it's Seraphil's opinion. She's often wrong.
Yeah, but so are the rest of us.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the way I was not cool with the way she stormed out of here, and she has done and said a lot of very not cool things. But also, she's been at this game, the game being life and dealing with big, scary, celestial, world-ending consequences a lot longer than any of us have.
No,
So,
for sure, for sure. Good pick, Willem. Nice card. I'll go find Bramman real quick, and we'll get this thing going. Yeah, let's get this ball rolling.
yep.
And I'm going to cast Locate Person on Branwyn.
Brandon, where are you?
Oh, I'm out on the lake.
She's where
Oh,
she
she's just standing
usually is, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
then I cast Water Walk and I walk over to her. I'll go. I know that you must be in a very bad place. I'm sorry about your dad's. But we're gonna get him back with Willem's thing. They're both gonna come back.
How?
We're gonna undo the creation of the scroll. It's gonna undo the creation of the deck of many things. It's gonna keep Eli Goy locked up. None of that
So
will ever happen, and they'll come back.
none of that will ever happen, which means that the Loeb Society never crumbles, which means that they're likely the reigning society on the Feywild, which means that really none of us ever.
There are consequences, but I think it's worth it.
I think the consequences are that none of us exist anymore.
I don't know about that whole thing. Why do you say that?
Too big of a change.
It's kind of bigger than us now.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of all of Trowood's infected, and they're kind of going out on the boats, and I don't know, shit's spreading. I don't think it's really about us anymore.
Yeah, whatever. Go do it.
Insight.
Do you need to roll?
No, but I'm doing it anyway. 27.
Brenwan's dead inside.
Okay. Randy's gonna go over and give her as much of a hug as he can. You don't have to come back, but you know, I think everyone would like you to be there before we take the plunge.
Do they know what they're doing? Do the rest of them have any idea what they're doing?
I don't know if they know the extent of it, but I think the discussion would be a lot longer if we did. And
Do I have to explain that to them?
I think we need to do this.
All right, fine. I'll go explain it to them. I'll start walking back in.
We'll follow her.
So Willem, if we make it so the scroll never existed,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Clarissa ever gets put in the orb in the first place?
How is the scroll's existence connected to Clarissa's prison?
I don't know.
I think that's
So
precisely the point. Like, Seraphal's not wrong. You're talking about changing an event of history that occurred 600 years before any of us existed. You have zero idea of the implications. It makes it easier for us right now, if we still exist.
Okay. So the scroll of omniscience idea is one idea. The other idea I had is make it so the net never breaks in the first place. Do you think the consequences of that would be less drastic?
At this point, Seraphil chimes in. It's not a net. We locked them away in the far realm. A net, in pejorative terms, was used during the conflict, but it is, you find them, and they exist through you. They are the very essence of reality. Stop at one place, it likely happens somewhere else.
but without this scroll, it doesn't happen again because
The-
the scroll is what made it happen.
The girl is right. Everything that we did was simply a delaying game. We never thought that humanity would progress to such a state, or that the damned lobes were such cockroaches that they could live underground, and the types of things that they do, peering into the beyond, that was meant for us to control. If not them, someone will do it. What is the nature of this telescope that they were able to peer through?
It was big.
And above ground?
No,
Then is
right?
it is
No,
it
it was very below ground.
then is it a telescope, or is it a telescope that can see through rock? These are very different things. You stop at one place, it can happen another place. You're talking about things you don't know. It is not lived history.
So what should we do?
Bring your friend back. Destroy it for all I care. You've already seen
That feels like
You've already experiencing what weaponized reality looks like. You want to try it yourself? You think you can control it?
if we bring him back, it's still weaponizing reality, and that feels a bit like
You're talking about
squandering
weaponizing
the
something that happened an
potential to
hour
do
ago
something.
versus something that happened 600 years ago. You've been given a chance to undo a mistake versus undo 1,000 years. You don't do that with a get out of jail free card. You do it with your blood, sweat, and your tears. There are 1,000 moments in my life I would change. But I'm here. And
All
you're
right.
here.
So let's say we don't use it. We go back to the Feywild, we tinker in Voss's tower, and maybe we get the crystal lattice set back up. By your own admission, doesn't that just halt it again for some time and buy us time, but not really be a solution? And if it doesn't get out here, it's still going to get out somewhere, somewhen.
It lasted an eon.
What?
You want to try to kill it? You can't get rid of it.
What if we had a poison that killed immortals?
It's not an immortal. It is nothing. It is reality. It is the void. As long as there is shadow in the world, it will exist.
Well, are we all here for this conversation?
Yes.
I
Oh,
think we get
okay,
there.
cool.
We arrived somewhere during a
Got it.
rant.
Yeah, but this is a very easy kind of snap of the fingers type situation, isn't it?
That's creating a fix that you'll
That you have
never know
no
if it
idea of the
worked.
repercussions. You precisely. We will not be standing here when you do it. It could be some fresher hell. If you want to call it a get out of jail free card, then save it for when we fail. And undo it. Undo the failure. Give us a second chance.
All we'll ever be doing, by your own admission, is buying time. It
So then
can't
you
be
buy
broken.
time for someone else that is you are writing off the problem. You do this, then you write it off and accept,
Feels
well, at
like
least
you're
it won't be
trying
us.
to get us to choose between writing off the problem now or writing off the problem 1,000 years or 600 years ago. It's still writing off the problem the same.
No, no. I'm saying We do this now. We do it right, and we succeed. And if we fail, we use that special little card that you've drawn to take us right back to where we failed and try again. And then we succeed. Inevitably, we will have bought 10,000 years.
Look,
You undo
I
something that
think
happened 600 years ago, we'll have no idea. We could be right in the middle of it all over again.
that we can do this. My worry is that with the plan I'm cooking up, it might just be too late because it's going to take time.
What is your plan?
I'm so glad you asked. All right. Well, first of all, 15 days, right? I'm gonna make this scroll. I'm gonna make little hats for all you guys. That makes it so that the L guide don't make you feel bad anymore. So that's step one. Is prevention from further killing yourselves. So you guys can all go into the Feywild for a day, and I'll work on that. And you'll come back, and that'll be good. Step two, study more. Figure out how to take everyone's godhood away from them. No. Step two, do the Eli Goy thing. Buy us a fuckload of more time. Step three, figure out how to take godhood away from people.
What is the Eli Goy thing exactly?
Oh, the whole lattice, whatever. We got all the materials for it, right? Yeah, we'll just, make that so when we're all like not going insane currently, like, we're not progressing in our illness. And once, I think that that'll be pretty easy to do. We got a pretty good steps in place. The downside to all that, of course, is that El Rey stays dead, and Lazer Hawk is just never going to come back.
We don't know that.
He disappeared.
And you don't know that what you're presuming will work either. The best chance we have is ourselves, not the hope of something, of changing the past and hoping for a better future.
So we take everybody's godhood away, and then what, Randy?
Oh, and then there's no more gods. Child?
I was referring to him.
That's good, because I'm 68 years old. But also, that feels reductionist to Willem, but whatever.
Always looking for the easiest solution.
Look, I could do either. There's pros and cons to both. I'm just saying there's a lot more ways that we can fail. And this is more of a dice roll, you might say, to making everyone the doing the reverse. But I do think that we should like just have no more gods.
Agreed.
But that's step three. That's after we deal with the whole the Swiss cheese monster.
Uh-huh. Anybody have anything else they'd like to add? Lena? Clarissa? Dunk?
Do we actually have all the things that we need to make that? Clarissa, are you familiar with this at all?
No! I lived in that tower in an orb. So, what exactly is it that we're looking for? I don't get it. I'm sure I'd be more
All
than
right,
happy
step
to look around and help you out with things. But I gotta say, if the card's up for grabs, there's a lot of stuff that I would change. If we're gonna listen to the
Okay,
big
so
scary
step
wing
two.
lady, we and not use it. I have ideas.
Okay. Seraphil knows what we need. Clarissa has the knowledge to do magic arcane things. Dunk
And
can
I
do
have the
magic
scroll,
arcane
so
things.
I can just learn how to do it.
Didn't
Brandy
she
has that.
just say she was trapped in an orb and she has no idea how to
But
help?
I
She
am
still
very
has a magical basis.
I am very
She's a
magical.
freaking wizard. Exactly.
Sorceress, technically.
Sorry. We send them to do
Listen,
that.
Draken was scared of you. That's got to count for something.
That's right, he was. Fucker.
Yeah, he was.
You know it. And they should be. And she's going to kind of like
Oh,
squeeze on Dunk's arm a little bit.
I'm gonna first look like but then look like ooh.
Cena goes, what? I mean, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but she's right. We undo something that none of us were there for hundreds of years ago. It's the same problem with Randy's. Oh, sorry. It's the same problem. No, it is. It's the same problem with the Randy plan. We have literally no idea what it means. But now all of a sudden, because it's like slightly different, but also tied to the evil guy, we're all okay with it?
okay, with what?
With going and
I think
changing
we
an
are
event of
pretty
history that we don't
clearly.
understand.
I think we're pretty clearly not all okay with it, and that is why we are gathering perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back to the original plan. I'm gonna
I think,
go take another nap, I guess.
if anything, let's keep it in our back pocket as a kind of fail-safe nuke option.
Yep, like it. Should also mention Zoltar knows I have the deck, wants the deck, and when I was leaving, he was like, "Ooh, thank you for letting me know you have it." So
Literally, who gives a shit about
Yeah, I
Zoltar?
don't think
I'm
that guy
just trying
matters
to
at
say
all.
he might come knocking. He might try to steal it. There might be something going on.
I,
So
I will, I will put him in a different place. I don't want to deal with that guy.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. I just
I
wanted to
like that
give
guy.
you all of the information that I was working with.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Well, this has been tense but productive.
Wowie zowie! Did we just talk through a thing?
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
we aren't leaving wanting to kill each other.
Well,
She,
at least one of us might be.
Well,
I'm looking at Seraphil.
she looks back at you, glaring.
to be fair, Seraphil, we've wanted to kill you for a long time. Or sorry, poor choice of words. We did want to kill you for a very long time.
The feeling is
Um,
mutual.
and yeah, but I hope we've at least mostly moved past that. Um,
All right. Well,
and
I'm
excited
gonna
to
I'm
work
gonna
with you.
go study the scroll. I'm gonna go ponder the scroll for the next 14 days. So I'll see you guys later.
Well,
See you
no,
in 14
Randy, we need
days.
you to take, after I go take another nap, we need you to take us back to the wizard tower, and then I'll take us back to the lake after that.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can
no,
take
for
us to
sure.
the wizard tower. I know how to teleport.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she can do it.
Cool.
Thanks, Carissa.
Anytime.
Hey, I'd like to do an insight check. Is that feels sinister for some reason, and I'd
Yeah.
like to know why.
You can roll an insight check.
It's a nat one.
Yeah, typical Clarissa.
What a zany one she is.
All right. Well, that is a wonderful place for us to stop for the evening. We are a product of Nat20Hot Incorporated. You can go on and watch all of our episodes.
Wait, are we incorporated?
We're a
think we're-
product.
Yeah, you can go on and check out all of our episodes up until this point on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@Nat20Hot. You can also visit our website, which is definitely not up to date, at www.nat20hot.com. We're off TikTok because we do not participate in NSA listening schemes anymore. You can also follow us on Instagram at Nat20Hot.
Oh no!
Cool.
Am I back? I noticed
You're
that I was lagging out.
back.
Yes, you're back.
Okay. We will not be back next Wednesday at our usual time. We will, however, be back next Saturday.
What?
Yes,
Oh man, this Saturday?
not this Saturday, next Saturday. I don't know why my computer is completely spazzing out at the current juncture. Yes.
But what if we did?
As always, you can find us there. And without further ado, we thank you all for tuning in. And there was one thing I forgot to do in the intro, which was a quote from a poem, which I've never done before, but I think it's something that we all need right now.
That's so whimsy.
Yeah, because it's a wonderful poem called The Mower, and I highly recommend you read it. And there's a great final graph, which is that we should be careful of each other and we should be kind while there is still time. Thank you all, and have a very good night and a very good week.